is here. It's the second time she's spoken. She was at our Christmas Lightning Talk competition. She was fantastically entertaining then. I know she'll be fantastically entertaining now. Please, everybody, give her a warm welcome.
Thank you so much for joining me today, especially because I think this is the first day in 2026 that we had a sunny day with blue sky. So I really appreciate that you are here and not on a path, like having a nice time. But yeah, today I'm gonna talk to you about my take of the artist sprint. It's a mix of agile, creativity, and some experimenting, so get ready for that. But who is Maria Mora? For those who came to the Lightning Talk, I introduced myself as I'm from Spain. I moved to London 8 years ago, and then moved to Sheffield, and here I am. But I thought that that was a bit boring, so I thought, okay, who is really Maria? So I'm a project manager, but that's my job, the title that I have now. I'm a mentor. That's something that I love doing. But I'm as well an illustrator. It's something that I started like in 2023, where I was going through a really difficult time in my corporate job. So I decided to start drawing to try to release all that anger and put it into pictures instead of like arguing with my boss. So that's how it started, and I keep doing it. I am a folk art painter. What is it? Well, I found out last year when I just joined a folk art class, and I said, I'm a folk art painter. And I keep doing it as well, so it's a new, I call it like personalities. Then I'm a foodie. You will find me next to the spicy food. And I'm an introvert. An introvert here, public speaking? Well, public speaking is one of my other personalities. And that's what I want you to think about. Like, each of us has different personalities. We wear different hats depending on the situation and the context. So I'm all those things and a few more that I won't share yet. But now that you know me a bit more, I want to get to know you as well. So based on the title of the talk, I'm gonna ask you, raise your hand if you think that you are an artist. Okay, it didn't go that bad. I'm glad that you are here. Like, rest of, like, yeah, I know that you came for...
If I don't reach artist, I can raise it.
Not really, but that's fine. Well, you sign up for this talk, so you need to be with me for 30 minutes. I'm so sorry if you are not an artist, but you're gonna learn about what an artist really means. And maybe you change your mind. So, definition of an artist. I asked Google. I know I could have gone to ChatGPT, Claude, but call me a classic. I went to Google. So my guess is that for those who didn't raise your hand, you think that an artist is only the person who creates paintings on drawings. And you might think, I don't do that. I might doodle if I'm bored in a meeting, but I don't do that. But then if you keep reading, again, Google knows everything. So if you keep reading, a surgeon could be an artist. Okay, maybe you don't, if you are here, you're not like into the medicine industry, maybe, I don't know. But artist has like many different meanings. And I want you to look at like some similar words to an artist. We have creator here, and we have expert. So let's see. Google, what does a creator mean? A person that brings something into existence. I will pause here. Or a thing. So I don't know if it's AI, but a thing can be a creator. Fair enough. But we'll focus on a person. So a person that brings something into existence. Similar words. You could be a developer, maybe. You could be an engineer, mechanical engineer, maybe. Architect, or maybe you are a father, or even a mother. So You can be a creator. The other word, expert. Well, having a skill in a particular area. And the similar words that could be linked to expert, there are quite many more. So you could be a specialist, a professional. You even could be a qualified Scrum Master. So we have the artist, we have the creator, and we have the expert. If I ask you again, based on Google's definitions, if you are an artist and/or a creator and/or an expert, can you please raise your hand?
Creator.
Okay. Welcome to the artist sprint. So now we can start. So this is my take on the artist sprint. I'm going to talk you through 3 roles, 3 artifacts that you can use as an artist, and 3 flows to release the artist within you. I only have one ask for you, and it's to get ready to experiment with me. That's the only ask. 3 roles. Why 3? I like the number 3, so I'm going to go with 3. 3 roles, 3 artifacts, and 3 creative flows. I didn't mention, but like the illustrations are mine, so just hope you love it. And this was when I was a product owner, so it's like what linked to it. So going back to my introduction, wearing a hat, the hat of a product owner. So you as an artist, because now we have decided that we are all artists, take the hat and it's like, okay, I'm a product owner. As a product owner, you have the vision. You know your why. Okay, I am an artist. I want to create art so people can heal their inner child. Fantastic, you have your why. That's your vision. And that will take you to the what. What do you need to do to address that why? Maybe it's to create a big canvas or a sculpture, or maybe it's just to create an app and release it in the Apple Store. Those are the 2 things that define the hat of a product owner. And then there is one quote that I really love, that is, a user story is a promise for a conversation. And a product owner, when you are wearing that hat, you are really keen on having those conversations to deep dive on your why and to understand how to define your what. But we all need some balance. And now we are going to change our hat, and it's like the Scrum Master. The Scrum Master is there to provide that balance, to facilitate, to be the enabler. So the product owner has the vision, but then as an artist, you need to land it somewhere. You need to know if you are going to paint on a canvas, you need to buy the canvas. You need to buy the colors. You need to know which colors do you need. And you need to visualize how you are going to land that idea and how you are going to convert it into reality. So it's all about empathy, connecting with the product owner, with the needs of the potential users, with the audience. So that Scrum Master hat will help you to be that facilitator. And then it comes the hat of the team member. I was like, should it be a developer? Should it be a tester? Should it be an architect? It really is, it's a team member. When you are an artist and you wear that hat, it's when you actually start creating. You then make it real. Like a developer, from nothing, start coding and something comes into life. It's the translation of that idea into something that can be tangible, can be used, can be visualized, can be enjoyed. And that creation is to be and have that quality, but without getting into perfectionism. Last week, I'm doing the artist way from Julia Cameron. I'm in week 8. And there is one quote that says that perfectionism is the excuse that we find to avoid moving forward. So that's why when we are a team member, we want to have fun and we want to enjoy it. And with the hat of a team member, we are going to start our first step of our experiment. Surprise, we have a canvas. So that's something that you can do with your imagination, or you can do it like with the paper and pen. I was not expecting that. But I'm gonna ask you, as an artist and creator of Agile Yorkshire,
God.
to do the first step. So you have a marker,
Okay.
and I would like you to draw and fill a rectangle. And for all of you, just imagine, or if you have
Any rectangle, anywhere.
the only requirement is a rectangle with a black marker, and it has to have some filling. So it's not only the lines.
Okay. All right.
Just release the artist within you. And for the rest of you, imagine the canvas. You have the canvas. Where would you put the rectangle? On one side, on the other side? How big? How will you fill the rectangle? With lines? With circles? Just imagine that rectangle, and you need to fill it with something.
Oh, I need to fill it with something.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's the requirement. There are three.
stressful. Anything. Fill it with anything.
You are an artist.
Okay.
You are an artist. Just release it. Yeah, you have the hat of the team member.
Okay.
So you are just.
Okay.
You need to do it with some kind of energy and passion. But that's the idea. I hope that you all have this in your minds, and if anybody watch it in YouTube later on, that's something that you can do as well, because we'll see how it develops. He's taking the artist really seriously. From all the things that I would have imagined you would do, what you are doing right now is it's really taking me by surprise. Which, yeah.
Oh, I've just done it wrong.
There's
All right.
nothing, and that's the other thing. Don't think about being perfect. This is not about right, wrong. We are just experimenting. But he is really
Okay.
taking.
All right. Is that good?
I'm not here to judge you.
Okay.
That's no reason.
You're an artist.
It's
Just
so
develop.
stressful this evening.
So this is what Roy decided to draw for us today. Maybe I'm 99.9% sure that you didn't know that he was gonna do this. Maybe the rectangle, but the feeling, you didn't know. So first step, thank you so much. You release your artist.
My pleasure.
Then we have three artifacts. Is how the artist, let's help the artist to bring some ideas. Or, yeah, I will call it artifacts. I will keep it with artifacts. The first thing that you could use as an artist is to create your own product backlog. How do you do that? Well, many artists take with them a sketchbook. It's blank page, and then draw ideas. It's the same as a writer that can take note of different ideas for potential articles, for characters, for a bestseller book. That's their product backlog. Same as if you have Jira and you start with a blank Jira and start putting their ideas or user stories. That's your sketchbook. But there is a caveat to that. You need to observe. It's great when we are commuting or we are waiting for a coffee, just with our phone, just between those tiny inches. But then, if you observe, you have 360 around you to take ideas without being a stalker, please, but taking ideas, see how people behave, how they act. Observe, listen, take that empathy from the Scrum Master and take note of what potential things or sketches you could add to your backlog. Learn about the user. Then from that product backlog, not everything will become a masterpiece. You need to pick up some ideas and then, decide to take them forward in a sprint. You need to be really honest with yourself and decide how much time you are going to dedicate during that sprint to develop those sketches into life. And my suggestion is always to think about, with the Scrum Master hat, to think what you will need to really develop that art, that piece of art. But what if you get blocked? Because it can happen. Maybe you need one day to paint the blue sky and the blue sky is not coming forward. Then pause and go for a walk. Just breathe. Or talk to a fellow artist and maybe you can unblock some additional ideas. And always measure, because you are getting to know yourself as an artist, as we saw with Roy. How much time do you need to draw a rectangle and fill it? Maybe it's 30 seconds, maybe it's 2 minutes, maybe it's 1 day. So those metrics will help you to get to know yourself and develop that sprint in future increments. Because that's the third artifact, increment. You might have seen that many masterpieces had paintings underneath because the painter, and they were found during restoration or doing some analysis. And in those cases, the artist is, I put it like fail fast, but it's not about the speed. It's about not having the fear to fail. As an artist, then you can get whitewashed and you start again. Increment is a mindset. It's about creative problem solving. It's taking things small problems, big solutions. And always give the space to innovate, because if not, you will always keep doing the same. So as an artist, if you create a paint with acrylic, maybe one day you want to mix it with watercolor. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, but you at least try to experiment and innovate with something else. And that takes us to the experiment, to the second step. So now, I'm gonna go with you.
It would be very fast and easy.
You never know. So please draw a triangle and fill it with a red marker. And for the rest of you, the same. Think about the rectangle, where it was, then what would you do with the triangle? Would you put it next to it, aside of it? Just think about how you will you combine both shapes, or will they be different? So try to imagine and to think how you would start putting this experiment into practice.
It's very hard to feel because as a mechanical engineer, it's easy to hatch. But I want to be an artist.
No, you are already an artist. You raised your hand before, so you don't have an option.
You can only improve it, Marianne.
Yeah.
But as you can see, it might seem easy to just draw a triangle and fill it. You might be thinking, come on, do it. But that's not that easy when you have not trained yourself to be creative and you are asking, is it right, or what else do I have to do? Is it wrong? Do I need to start from scratch? Well, it's a marker. We don't have option. It's written down. And that's what this experiment really wants to show you, that we need to train ourselves, we need to train our brains to be creative.
It seems I'm not so creative right now, and maybe.
Just let your artist.
I told you the first fault was okay to hatch, like an engineer,
Okay, if you are blocked, we can pause here.
Yes, I have to recognize I'm not so good.
Please give him an applause because he tried to fill a triangle. So this is the triangle. It's filled. I didn't say if it should be the whole filling or not. So you see that it's not that easy. It's a triangle, a rectangle. So we have 2 figures. And we keep going. I have talked you through the 3 hats, the 3 artifacts. And now, how are we going to put them together? Is with the flow. Structure and creativity, why would you do that? John Cleese from the Monty Python had a really good talk on YouTube talking about leadership and creativity. So if you have time, just search for it. And it's 40 minutes, but it's really like worth it. He wrote up another book as well, really tiny, that you can get it on Amazon or on your local library. And it's all about how he gave some examples of how he released his creativity. And one of the things that he does is time boxing. He, let's say, 1 hour, he gets into a room, no interruptions, no phones, no nothing, just focusing on creating. But would you say, well, if that day you are spot on and you finish the sketch in 20 minutes, then you are done? No, he keeps going. He starts again with the sketch. Change the beginning, change the ending, change everything in between. If you set yourself for 1 hour to be creative, then you have to be 1 hour training your brain. And why I'm highlighting the brain? Because most of us as adults have forgotten how to play, how to be creative, and this is like going back to the gym. We need to train little by little and trying to do these experiments to allow yourselves to really be creative. No rules, no judgment, just go with the flow, go wild. The next step to the sketch would be a prototype, is creating a working model. I live in Sheffield and we have a sculpture, it's called the Women in Steel. And in order to get the funding to build the whole sculpture, because it's like my size, they decided to build a working prototype so people who wanted to give donations would know how it would look like. So as you can see, prototypes are used in art, not only when we are talking about tech. That helps us to visualize what is the end product, especially if we need money to build it. And then reflection, retrospective. And I would say this is the hard part because we are our worst inner critics. Once I remember a coach told me to name my inner critic. I called her Patricia, which is fine. So Patricia sometimes becomes like not really giving really constructive feedback. And that's what I need to step in. Because this retrospective, this reflection is about learning. If I win, I win. If I lose, I win as well because I learned something from it. But the second part, detachment. If you wear the hat of the product owner, you are attached to the end result by your why. And then you need to take a step back, see the big picture, and say, okay, this is not about right or wrong, but what will be built to be able to meet your why, and detach yourself from the end result. Maybe it's not a canvas, maybe it's a sculpture, maybe it's something else. And linked to the increment is an iterative mindset. It's all about like, keep engaging, keep learning, and keep improving. And then we go with the experiment, the step 3. Who wants to draw a circle? I know that you want to draw a circle. I could see in your eyes. But in this case, we are gonna, how we are going with the time? Yeah, we are going fine. So let's say that you have 30 seconds. Like let's use the creative flow. So you have 30 seconds to draw and fill a circle. And your time starts now.
We need that countdown music.
But that's the point. Like, if you set yourself a limit or a time boxing, like John Cleese suggests, then you keep going, and you know that you have. Maybe you don't finish it, but then you keep going, and that's something that really helps with brainstorming as well when you do it with teams. Just to go with the group and release it. So then done. Beautiful.
Let's not colour you blue as well. There we go.
Beautiful, thank you so much. So here we have a circle. Did you like it? So would you say that we have created art? We had 3 colors, shapes, and some ideas. Who is the judge of that? Because we have very masterpieces. I mean,
Ours is better than that. Yeah.
when you want to be an artist, you just go with it. Like, none of these masterpieces were masterpieces when they started. It's just give it a go. And this is the exercise that I want to suggest you. Whenever you have 5 minutes, and I know that you have 5 minutes because you keep scrolling, you keep talking to others. Instead of doing that, take a piece of paper and try to do this by yourself. The challenge is that every time that you have those 5 minutes and draw another circle, another rectangle, another blue circle, that you always do it differently. Put it into a different place. Fill it in a different way. Set up your timer. You have 10 minutes, maybe one day, and keep going, keep doing it. Because you will realize, and we couldn't do it with papers and each of us, but I can assure you that each of us would have drawn something completely different. And if we try it again tomorrow, that could be a completely different painting. And that's why we need to train our brains. So this exercise will help you to start warming up. So every ending has a beginning. And as the talk is about to finish, this is your beginning as an artist. So if I meet you tomorrow or next week, or a year from now, and I ask you this question, I would like you to say confidently, yes, I am an artist. But what you need to do is to create, to experiment, and release your artist. Please. So any questions or comments during the break? And thank you.